Hi, welcome to Japanese craft beer reviews. As is my wont, I review all kinds of beers, not just Japanese craft beers. And today's beer is not Japanese, it's Belgian. It is this one, Maredsous Brune. And this is a double or Brune at 8% and 24 international bittering units. But let's talk a little bit about the brewery first, Maredsous. Um, Maredsous is a brewery located in Belgium, and near it's near the it's a Benedictine monastery. I'm sorry, in 1872 it was founded, so it's not an ancient monastery by any means. The beer is now made at the Duvel Moortgat Brewery in Flanders, and it's kind of under it's licensed under their name, and so they have it made at Duvel Moortgat rather than at their monastery. And this brewery has basically 5 beers. You can check their website, and I'll put a link to them. And 5 beers. And Untapped also lists 5 beers for them and an average score of 3.65 out of 5. So it's a Benedictine monastery, and it's considered Trappist as well. And those 5 beers are Maredsous 6, a blonde, Maredsous 6, a donker, dunkel, or a dark, Maredsous 8, double, which is this one, the one we'll look at today, a Bruin, brown, and Maredsous 10, a triple. And they also make one called a Maredsous Extra, which is a Belgian pale ale. And so they've been brewing for a while, and they're famous for their cheese as well as their beer. I'm not sure why they licensed their beer and have made it Duvel Moortgat now, but that certainly wouldn't harm the beer in any way. This Duvel Moortgat is one of the finest, the makers of Duvel and others. So again, this is a 8% and 24 international bittering units. It's considered a double. They call it a Brune or a brown, which is fine. And on RateBeer, this one has 2,590 separate ratings, an average score of 3.6 out of 5, 88 percentile for all beers on RateBeer, and 96 for its style, which RateBeer calls it a double or double. Untapped, 64,054 separate ratings, 3.64. So in this case, Untapped and RateBeer are pretty close in their evaluations, around 3.6 or so. I have had this before, and I rated it about 8 years ago, and I gave it a 3.7. Okay, so we'll give this a go. Looking forward to I haven't had this in quite a while. I see it occasionally, but it's just not something I have decided to purchase at all. So again, this is the Abbey is located in close to the town of Namur in Belgium, which is one of the larger towns in the country. Looking forward to this. I have my trusty Duvel glass, which is appropriate since this beer is made at the Duvel Moortgat Brewery in Flanders. Oh my. Okay, so it is you can't quite see it, but I can. It's a deep, dark, reddish kind of almost mahogany, light mahogany color with almost 2 fingers of solid, chunky sort of foam, off-white foam. Let's see how that kind of sticks a bit and then slopes down. Okay. Well, okay, so this does have some sugar, and what I get out of the aroma, getting some dark sugar, definitely yeast, Belgian yeast, prunes, maybe something like red wine, very light sort of red wine. Again, dark fruit. So when I reviewed it earlier, I said it was kind of prune-like. This is not prunes at all. Could be very light raisins, but it's not. It's not in that kind of framework. There's some dark fruit for sure, and it's lightly soured. It's just got some change in the bottle conditioning for sure. Some light fruit, maybe some pepper or something. Interesting. And then a kind of light creamy sweetness after mid palate. That's very nice. It balances out very nicely. After mid palate, it kind of goes to this kind of like cookies and cream sort of thing, and then fades out very slowly. Very interesting. There's some alcohol warmth to this, a bit. 8%. I'm sure you experienced that. This has got the kind of interesting mix of fruitiness and dryness. When I had this before, I thought it was like something like a mix of Chimay Red and Orval. Chimay Red, which is bright and fruity, and Orval, which is almost bone dry. And this is kind of a mix of those two. Very interesting, very nice. Yeah, wow. I highly recommend this one. And probably any of the Maredsous beers you find here. And I assume these are imported to the U.S. as well. Once again, this is called Maredsous 8 Brune, and it's a double at 8% and 24 international bittering units. I mean, you gotta love Belgian beers, Jesus. You know, I mean, it's a country that makes more kinds of beer than almost anybody, and does them so well. Yeah. Well, that's it for today. Please subscribe to the channel. Leave me a comment. Tell me how you're doing. Let's talk about beer, okay? And I hope you'll stay tuned. Next, I'll probably be moving on to a series of beers from Kyoto Brewing Company, which is one of my favorite Japanese craft brewers, and should be one of yours too if you live in Japan. All right. Well, that's it. Take care. Stay healthy. Bye-bye.